All right, let's write out a little bit of SQL that's going to find all of our rows with the price of null and set them to some temporary price value like 999 or something like that. So I'm going to go back over to my query tool. I'm going to comment out our altered table statement for just a moment, and we'll write in a little bit of SQL to do our update. Now, it's been a while since we've had to update any rows, so just a quick reminder on how that works. We'll write in update, the name of the table that we want to make the update to, which in this case is products. We'll then say set, and we'll describe the update that we want to make. So in this case, we want to update price to something like 999. And then finally, we're going to provide a where clause, which is going to describe exactly which rows we want to update. So you might be tempted to write out something like price equal to null. Unfortunately, that's not how we check to see if a value is null. To check to see if a value is null, we'll write out price is null, like so. That's going to find all the rows in products where the price is null or not defined, and we're going to update that price column to 999. Okay, so let's run that. We see that we updated one row, so we can go back over to our table display. We can refresh the table definition, and we'll see that we've got the new price in there. Now that the price column has no null values inside of it, we can now apply our null constraint. So I will delete the update. I'm going to uncomment all of this, and we'll run it. So it looks like our altered table was successful. Now let's try to insert another row into products. We'll try providing a null price once again and just see what happens. So we're going to insert into products, and we're only going to provide the rows, or excuse me, the columns of name, department, and weight. We'll then designate our values as, how about shoes, from the clothes department, and they have a weight in this case of 5 whatevers. Now we can run that, and there's our error. That is an error that we want to see. It is telling us that we failed some validation. We tried to insert a row with a price of null. So this would be a sign to you and I that maybe our insert statement right here is not quite right. We failed some validation, so we need to go back, figure out why it failed, and update it. So in general, we want validation like this. You're going to see that the vast majority of table definitions are going to mark many different columns as not null. Because the vast majority of the time, we want to have values inside of all these different columns, unless your application has a very specific reason to say, oh yeah, you don't need to provide this value. Just think about it for a little bit. In what scenario would we want to have a product without a name? We probably never want to have a product without a name, so we might want to always make sure that our name column is marked with not null. Likewise, we want to make sure that we always assign a product to a department. Maybe your business or whatever business you're creating a database for has the idea of a product without a department, but in general, I think life might be easier if we just say, you know what, a product must always be assigned to a department. So we might also mark that as not null. Now the weight might be a little bit trickier to imagine. In some cases, we might just not know the weight of a product. Maybe it's some new product that we've never gotten before, we've never gotten our hands on it, and we have no idea how much it weighs. So there might be some scenarios where you have a column that you want to allow null values in. But in general, for your application, you want to put some thought into this and decide whether or not you want to allow null values. Moving forward, a lot of the tables that you and I define are going to mark a lot of their columns as not null, because in the vast majority of scenarios, we want to see values in every single column. All right, so that is the first little bit of row-level validation we're going to discuss. So quick pause right here, and we'll take a look at defining unique values in the next video.